the trisomy 13 and 18 kind of movement that really started by the parents has changed the outlook of what is possible for that subset of patients, right? So classic example, trisomy 18 was used to be called a lethal condition, right? It's not compatible with life. The old data says that less than 10% of live-born infants survive to a year. And that was just a given. And so the narrative was most babies die, so we shouldn't try pretty much anything because most of them are going to die anyway. And so people kind of accepted that. And then we learned in the early 2000s that there is a subset of parents who's kind of trying to buck that trend a little bit and say, but what if you did try? Like we know the risk, we kind of accept those odds, but what if we push just a little bit further and just a little bit further, just a little bit further? And then it created sort of this body of data to say that some kids, not all, but some kids can survive beyond a year. Some kids survive beyond 5. And then even more importantly, there was another subset of literature that showed that those who are surviving are not surviving as sort of badly, quote unquote, as we thought they would. And I think that gets into the weeds of, well, how do you define a good outcome? And some parents said, well, a good outcome is a child who I thought was going to die at 2 days of life, who's now 4, who's living with chronic mechanical ventilation and has a gastric tube and has a seizure disorder, all of those things, but also has joy and sits at the dinner table and says 3 words. And to us, that's a good outcome. And I think seeing those outcomes and seeing what families think about those outcomes has changed how people provide care to kids with trisomy 18.